It is time for the Best Bets Show, UFC Vegas 95, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, this card is so bad. It's so bad that I don't have a lot for you, okay? I really don't have a lot of bets on this card, and I usually give you a money line, a round prop, a parlay, and a prop bet, but I really don't have that much, so I usually give out those for free, and I don't have a ton on this card, so I'm not going to give you that much. I'm going to give you a parlay, a prop bet, and of course the DFS plays as well, but we're shortening it up a little bit just because this card is just so bad, so many cancellations, so many weight misses that it's not even worth it to really take a lot of spots. And just to be respectful to the premium members out there, I'm not going to give away too much because I don't have a lot. But let's get into it, man. We can recap the show to start off. Last week, we went up 0.5 units off the Best Bets show. So the Best Bets total record moves to minus 1.79 units in total, but we're winning 2 out of the last 3 weeks. So we had that rough stretch there. Let's hopefully we get a green week here, not dishing out too much out there. So let's keep her moving. I'm going to start you off with a parlay. I got the fight to not go the distance in the Kazama and Gregorio fight, parlayed up with the over 2.5 rounds in the Gutierrez and Quang Bang Lee fight, sitting at plus 109 parlay. Putting 1 unit on it. Reason being, Kazama, very bad chin. Gregorio, very bad cardio. I think Gregorio probably sparks him in round 1 or 2. But if he doesn't, I think Kazama could probably find a finish as well. Kazama's a nasty grappler, but he just can't really find a way to get it there. So I don't think this fight's going the distance. I think it's super low level, super volatile, and I think either guy can get finished. So give me that fight to not go the distance there. And then the over 2.5, Chris Gutierrez, absolute leg kick and jab merchant. The dude just floats around the outside the entire fight. Quang Lee stepping up on short notice. Like 3 or 4 days notice? I don't really think he's that dangerous. Yes, he's got some finishes, but they're on the regional scene to absolutely nobody's. If he does get Gutierrez to the ground, Gutierrez has shown he will just lay on his back, and that allows the clock to tick off, and that's good for our over. So I don't really see a finish by either guy here. In all reality, Chris Gutierrez probably just jabs and low kicks his way to a decision victory. But it could get, Quang Lee could mix in some wrestling and get the clock going. So I like the over 2.5 there. Parlayed up plus 109 for 1 unit. From here, we'll move on to the Underdog fantasy plays. As you can see, we have had a lot of success on this app. And I actually calculated it during my free time on Monday, I think it was. Over the last 8 weeks, between Underdog and Betr picks, which we will talk about later, we're up over $9,000. Meaning if you're a $100 unit better, you'd be up over 90 units if you're tailing these plays. So highly suggest you tail these plays. If you're one of these yellow states, you can tail these plays. Or if you're in Canada, except for Ontario, you can tail these. Use my code HeyJob. You'll get a deposit bonus up to $250. That link is down in the description below. You can put these plays in. Now, let me preface this saying, I give you these plays here on Fridays, and I post them all in my free Telegram. But I send all these plays out to my premium subscription members first. Why? Because these lines tend to move almost within an hour or less after I give them out to people, or even after I put them in. So you'll see the line moves here. So like right here, there's Yusuf Zalal lower than 47.5 significant strikes. I gave that play out on Tuesday, I believe. And now when I put this play in today, it's at 41.5. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes they just soar under. But sometimes it does play a big difference. You could get 44, 45, 46. And that hits, but this one doesn't. So that matters. That's a big reason why you should join the Home Fight Picks premium membership so that you can get these plays first and you can get the lines before they move. But just to go over these, Zalal, I like him to go under just because I think, for one, he's not a high-volume guy. He's a guy that skirts around the outside, Factory X guy. And I think he's going to grapple in this matchup and probably find a submission. So if he's going to grapple, I don't think he's going to rack up the significant strikes. And on the feet, Jarno Aarons does have very good striking defense. I don't think he's going to rack up significant strikes on the feet, so I like his under there. Kianzad, women's overs, debated this one, but Carol Rosa, I don't really think she's going to go for a lot of takedowns. She hasn't really shown much urgency to do so throughout her career. The only way that I don't think she goes over is if Karol Rosa grapples her up for 7.5 out of the 15 minutes. And I don't think she's going to. So maybe she gets a takedown or two, but I think Kianzad on the feet should be able to rack him up as well. I like her over on significant strikes. Karalampis, Gregorio, lower on fight time. I got the fight to knock the distance in the parlay I just gave you. So I think this fight ends in round 1 or early round 2. Chepe Mariscal, lower on significant strikes. Damon Jackson's not a guy that gets hit a lot, and when he does get hit, he tends to get knocked out. And when he's in the driver's seat, he's grappling. So I think this fight could end early with Chepe KO, or Damon Jackson's going to get his grappling going, and therefore Mariscal is not going to be able to land a lot of significant strikes. So I like his lower there. Jonathan Deniz, lower on significant strikes. He could spark Carl Williams pretty early, but in all reality, Carl Williams probably gets takedowns, and Deniz isn't going to be landing significant strikes off his back. He's going to spend a lot of time on his back if he can't get him out of there with a KO. So I like his lower on significant strikes. Right here, these are rivals sections. It's in the rivals section. So Talita Alencar, plus 27.5 significant strikes. That is just an unbelievably wide line. And if you look at their first fight between Luciano and Alencar, she was covering this all the way up to the 3rd round when she gassed out. Her next fight, she didn't gas out, and she covered this line. So I don't really think this line should be that wide. 27.5 is a lot. An early finish, doesn't matter who wins. She probably covers that if it goes the distance. She's proven that she can cover that as well in her next fight. So 27.5 is just way too wide. Kianzad, 11.5. She's covered this number in every single one of her UFC fights except one. I think she's got 9 or 10 UFC fights. So we're getting a real good number there on 11.5 for Kianzad. If Karol Rosa's grappling her, then this looks really good because Rosa doesn't really land a lot of ground and pound. And if she's on the feet, I think she can keep up. So 11.5 there on the rivals. Gregorio, same thing. Early finish, not a high volume guy. Kazama is very chinny. And then this is a nice little 3-legger takedowns. All lowers. I don't think Gregorio's going to want to wrestle. I don't think Zalal is a guy that racks up a ton of takedowns. I don't think he's gone over this. He's gone over this once in his entire UFC career. But once he does get guys to the ground, he controls them very well. And Jarno gets controlled very easily. So I don't think he's going to be just racking up takedowns. Lower than 3.5, that's a really high number. So I like his under there. And then Tybura, lower than 2.5 takedowns. I don't think he's ever gone over 2.5. I don't think he's ever landed three takedowns in a fight. And Sergey Spivac is probably the one that's going to want to get this fight to the ground. And these are heavyweights, man. They're not guys that get taken down and get back up right away. Once you got a 250-pound guy laying on top of you, it's pretty hard to get up. So lower than 2.5 takedowns there on Tybura. That's a 3.67x payout on the 3-legger. Move on. So I mentioned Home of Fight picks. This is where you can get all those DFS plays instantly first. And that is a big deal. But in addition to that, you're going to get my UFC bets, all of them, not just these best bets. You're going to get the PFL bets, and you're going to get the Dana White Contender Series bets. And on the year, we're positive 26 units. So that is good. That is very good. I, of course, would like to be up more. But plus 26 units, I can't be mad at that. And hopefully by the end of the year, we're plus 50 units or more. That's always the goal. And we got, 4 or 5 months left? So hopefully we hit that. Link is down in the description there. And we just launched with Dub Club. Therefore, once these plays are posted, you'll get them instantly to your phone. That is huge, especially with DFS. You'll get an instant notification of all the plays that are posted so you can get on them right away. That link is down in the description, and you can join for a week, a month, or a year. It's up to you. We'll give you to a prop bet. We're taking Chepe Mariscal KO/TKO at plus 210. I'm putting a half unit on it, meaning I think Chepe is a guy that is always going to go for the finish. He's always going to be throwing hard, and I don't think Damon Jackson is very durable. And I like Chepe. I like Chepe to win, but I don't really like his money line, and I'm really just taking this because I think there's value on his knockout prop. In all reality, if this fight goes to a decision, you might be clenching your cheeks if you got a bet on Chepe, at minus 250, somewhere around that. I don't think his decision equity is really all that great, considering Damon Jackson does have the ability to get a lot of minutes with his ground control or just taking the back. So I think on the feet, Chepe is live for a KO. Damon Jackson, never been durable. And he's fought a lot of grapplers throughout his UFC career that really haven't been able to expose it. But every time he fights a guy that has really solid striking, like a Tybura, like Dan Ige, he gets knocked out. Not saying Chepe's on that level, but I do think he could find the chin, and I think he could put him away. So plus 210 on Chepe, KO/TKO for a half a unit. It's worth it to me. From there, we go to the better picks. And as you can see, we have had a lot of success with this app as well. It's a DFS app as well. Pretty similar to Underdog, but a little bit different. The states do vary as far as what you can play it in. And of course, if you want to use my code HeyJob, you'll get a deposit bonus up to $250. This app has been on fire for us recently. A lot of the lines don't move quite as quickly, and there's a lot of options on the app as well, which is huge. So always want to get as many options out there as you can. So hit that link down in the description, sign up, and you can tail the plays right here. We got 3 two-leggers and the one big boy payout that we always throw on there just for an extra little boost. We talked about Chepe. We talked about Kazama a little bit. He's not a high-volume guy. He probably gets knocked out round 1 or 2. If not, he's going to grapple. So I don't think he's going to rack up significant strikes. Damon Jackson, same thing. Kind of talked about him. Not a high-volume guy. Wants to get you to the ground and control you. Alencar, not a high-volume striker whatsoever. She wants to get you to the ground. She's not going to be looking to stand and strike. Jarno Warren's probably going to get taken down, and he's not a high-volume guy either. 2 of his fights that went to a decision before his last one, he landed under 35.5 significant strikes in a 15-round fight. What does that tell you? The guy can get taken down and he can get controlled, and that is not good for significant strike totals. That's why we're taking the under. We already talked about Denise, and I'm not going to go through all these, but you could pretty much tell from all the explanations that I've given of these guys. That's $100 to win 10,000. That's a 100x multiplier. They have all the way up to 1,000x multipliers. So they got boosted picks, but I try to stay away from the boosted picks just because it's very hard to hit multiple of those, let alone one. And I think there's more of an edge with just the straight up significant strike totals or even takedown totals. So $100 to win 10K there, and then these are $100 to win 300. So realistically, if we just hit one of these 3, we are break even, because this is really what counts. This is just extra. This is what counts. We hit one of these, we're break even. We hit 2, we're in the profit no matter what. We hit 3, obviously a sweep is amazing. So if you're in one of these purple states, download the app, sign up, use the code, get your deposit bonus, put these plays in. And lastly, I told you it's going to be a short show because there's not a ton of bets that I have on this, but you can join my free Telegram. That's where I post every single one of those DFS plays in there, so you can see them while you're putting it in. You don't have to watch this video. You can just look at that. You can put them in there. But as always, those DFS plays, they don't get posted in there until they've been posted in the premium membership, because there is a little bit of that delay. I need to give the people that are paying subscribers the benefit. There's a massive benefit too, because these lines tend to move very quickly. But at the end of the day, sometimes those bumps do not matter, because they just get soared under or soared over. So join the free Telegram. It's free. Hop in there, and we can hit some bets together. But other than that, I got nothing for you. This card sucks. I got to run a half marathon tomorrow. Kind of looking forward to it, kind of not. But, yeah, after we run, we watch some fights. Hopefully we make some money. Good luck to you. Appreciate you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Till next time, hey, Job Picks.